HalferLand videos.
Alright, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel, HalferLand Performance Videos. Today I have a few cool updates for you guys, show you what we've been working on. If you guys are a return subscriber, thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate the support. If you're brand new, please hit the subscribe button below. Also hit the notification bell to be alerted to new videos that we have coming out, new content, because our videos are a little sporadic just because I'm running two different companies. Of course, my normal 9-to-5 and then HalferLand Performance. So I do my best to get the videos out, but I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on recently, because we have a lot of cool stuff going on, a lot. So once again, please hit that notification bell and subscribe, and let's get started. Oh, and if you don't follow us on Instagram, please follow us there, because that's the easiest for me to update in real time, so you guys can actually see exactly what I'm working on at the moment. All right, so let's get started. All right, first things first, if you guys don't follow our Instagram, once again, it's HalferLand Performance on Instagram, on IG. We've been pushing out a lot of motor rebuilds. This would be like the 4th or 5th one just in the last couple months. So this is a J35 A8 motor. A customer brought in. He had a ton. And guys, when I say a ton of rust, I mean there was rust everywhere in this motor. So apparently somehow rust got into his fueling system, went through the whole motor. So obviously once fuel goes in, it's being sprayed directly into the cylinders. So the heads, the valves, the springs, the pistons, the cylinders, even in the oil pan, all fucking rusted out. I mean, it was nasty, guys. So I literally brought this block down bare bones, took it fully apart, exploded. Everything was taken apart. Obviously, it's fully rebuilt now, and it was a labor of love, guys. Honestly, if I had to go over and do it again, I probably would not accept the motor in the condition that it was in. But I couldn't leave the guy hanging. He's an awesome guy, local customer, so I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll bang it out for you. So all in all, I think we have about $2,200 into the motor. But keep in mind, guys, used J35 A8 motors on eBay are going for $1,600 up to $2,200 for an unknown condition J35 A8 motor, where here he's basically paying the same amount for a used motor J35 A8, but he's getting it back 100% fresh, rebuilt. And on top of that, as you can see here, we also have a few performance parts that he went ahead and decided to add. So going over a brief description of the work that we did, like I said, we broke the motor down completely, took the pan off, cleaned all the oil pickup, cleaned everything off there, cleaned the pan out, rebuilt it. It has the main bearings actually looked really good, so we left the main bearings. We put new clavette rod bearings, dial board them, spec'd them out perfectly. Ended up honing the cylinders, so we machine honed the cylinders. I took the heads apart. I went ahead, I cleaned all the rust off the valves, all the rust off of the springs. I went ahead, I did a valve job on it. He kept the stock cams because his car is basically 100% stock. So anything that we did, any performance parts we added are literally the first performance parts he has on the car. So he doesn't have a tuning system or anything like that, so we chose to not install our stage 2 cams or our 10,000 RPM valve springs. So that's basically that for the heads. I went through, made sure everything was good, took the measurements, made sure the deck was flat. Like I said, cleaned the valves and did a valve job, put them back on, obviously set the timing. The bottom end, like I said, kept the main bearings, added new rod bearings, went ahead and honed the cylinders, and we also decked it. So now he's running, instead of 10.5 to 1 compression, he's right around the 10.8, 11 to 1 compression. So one of the biggest pain in the asses was the majority of the head bolts were stripped. I was able to get all of them off except for 2, which we ended up having to machine the head of the bolts down to where there was no head left, and we could just literally lift the head off of the bolt. So with that said, we went ahead and we added ARP head studs, which is great because it allows you to pull the heads off multiple times without having to replace the head bolts. And his plans are to do more mods to the car, so down the road we will be adding our stage 2 cams, our 10,000 RPM valve springs, and like I said, it will allow us the flexibility to pull the heads off, not have to worry about buying new head bolts. And also the clamping force on ARP head studs is much better, where stock I believe is 72 foot-pounds or 78, somewhere around there. ARP studs go to 95, and we actually torque them a little higher to 100. I know most people say don't do that, blah blah blah, you know, because that's not what the manufacturer says. But guys, I've been doing it literally the entire time I've had ARP head bolts. Never had a head gasket failure. Even running 100 and 150 shot of nitrous at the car, never lifted a head or anything like that. So as I said for the block, went ahead, got it all cleaned up, machined it, did the honing, ended up decking the heads. As for performance parts, we went ahead and we added our HalferLand Performance lightweight crank pulley. This is a full-size stock diameter, so you don't have to worry about underdriving your alternator and not charging the battery. We also added our HalferLand port and polish runners. Not sure if you can see that. This is just like a glue that I could not get off for the life of me. I'm gonna see if I can clean it up a little more before he picks it up, but there they are, they're in there. So those are our PMP runners, and then just some other miscellaneous stuff. So along with the stripped head bolts, something else that we found were all his piston rings were seized. Basically, I found so many shavings, and I believe it to be the piston rings. They seized in there and they got locked in from all the rust. So when I was trying to get them out, man, they would not budge. So we had to add and like they were perfectly flush. It was super odd, but we ended up taking them out and installing our prototype J35, J32 HalferLand pistons on there. So there are prototype pistons. He's running one of the very first pistons that we have. So they're in there. We put brand new piston rings in there, stock ring gap, and that's basically it, guys. And went ahead and sealed everything back up with the red RTV. Like I said before, guys, some people prefer to use the Honda Bond. I've used Honda Bond, had the shit leak before, so I switched over to the red RTV, and guys, I've never had an issue. Knock on wood, never had a single issue. As long as you apply the correct amount, get it all the way around and torque the bolts in sequence and let it dry for a little bit and then torque it all the way down, you'll never have an issue. So moving forward a little bit, as I mentioned, he's running our very first prototype J32, J35 HalferLand Performance 800 horsepower pistons. The only reason we installed them is because we didn't have any other pistons and his were shot. So with that said, guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, I don't have anything here to show you or present you because they're currently being manufactured. But if you go check our Instagram account, right here, I'm going to put it right here, our Instagram account, which is HalferLand Performance. We are having a group buy, just as we did with our 1,000 horsepower J35 rods. We're having a piston group buy on them. So they are our HalferLand high silicone. They are cast, but we guarantee them to 800 horsepower. And what the high silicone content allows is for more flexibility, so it can absorb those harder impacts from the combustion. Also, it helps with heat. Silicone withstands heat much better, and it doesn't become brittle pull like the other cast aluminum pistons do. On top of that, our pistons will come stock. They will come standard with our anodized dome. So the dome will be anodized, and what that does, it hardens the piston dome. So once again, it can absorb harder combustion, but also anodizing helps with heat dissipation. So a byproduct of boost is heat. Obviously, the more you compress air, the hotter it gets. So anodizing helps with that, and it will help keep the piston cool, which in turn will help reduce the piston ring expansion. So the ring gap, like I showed before, guys, if you don't know, go back in my videos. The #1 issue with turboing or boosting a stock J-Series motor is the stock piston ring gap. It's very tight, and as the piston heats up, the ring, it heats up and it butts, and when it butts, it pinches up into the ringland, and it ends up cracking the ringland, and then you get loss of compression on that entire cylinder, and that's the issue. So anodizing also helps with that. Along with anodized standard, we're also going to have our Moly Glide side skirt treatment. So it's not a typical Moly side skirt treatment. It's a little better. It's like their second level Moly Glide is what we're calling it. So it's our Moly Glide side skirt treatment. And then once the product's in stock, we're also going to offer the opportunity or the option for the customer to switch from anodized to ceramic coating on the dome, or an underside treatment for minimal increase in cost. So still trying to figure out what the cost is, but it will be pretty affordable considering what the benefits are there. So guys, if you're interested in our HalferLand 800 horsepower J32, J35 piston, high silicone piston, guaranteed to 800 horsepower, comes with our 1-year HalferLand warranty, please reach out to me at the email below, which is halferland@gmail.com. Currently, there are 10 spots of the 16 taken. So we've only allocated 16 slots or 16 sets to this group buy, and already 10 of those slots are taken. The total cost, all right, get this, guys. The total cost of the group buy for the pistons, for the 800 horsepower J32, J35 pistons, they come standard with the anodized dome, come standard with the Moly Glide side skirt treatment. They come with wrist pins, brand new wrist pins. They come with brand new C-clips, and free shipping is only $550, guys. So $550, you can have the reassurance up to 800 horsepower, guaranteed 800 horsepower for 1 year. And like I said, free shipping, guys. So if you're interested, hit us up, because those slots are being filled quickly, and once the 16 have been filled, that's it. We're closing the group buy, just as we did with our HalferLand 1000 horsepower J35 rods. Once those slots are taken, that's it, guys. And our normal retail cost is going to be $650 on them. So whenever you see them listed on the store, they're going to be $650. Still a killer ass deal, considering if you looked at Ford's pistons, you're looking in the $1,000 plus range for any Ford's piston out there, $950 to $1,000 plus. Some are $1,200, $1,400, where ours are $800. We would consider our pistons to be like mid entry level boosted piston applications, because you got to think our pistons are perfect for the 300, from anywhere from the 300 horsepower normal daily driver build all the way up to the 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower beast daily driver, such as what we have in our daily J35 Accord. So like I said, guys, once again, contact us at halferland@gmail if you're interested in the piston group buy. One last thing on the pistons, they will come the standard compression. So a J35 will be 10-1, and if you install them in a J32, it's going to be 9-1. Perfect for boost, perfect for supercharged or turbo, or even nitrous. If you're going to run like 100 plus shot of nitrous, perfect. And you guys can also play around the compression if you need to add compression. You can do that by decking or milling the heads. So there's a few ways around them, but guys, after these are done, we will be coming out with our NA high compression high silicone pistons, which will also be guaranteed to 800 horsepower. And then after that, guys, we're going to be moving on to our forged pistons, which is going to be the 1,000 horsepower plus, guys. So that's going to be like the big power, guys, is going to be the forge. And I guarantee you guys, you will not be disappointed. And I guarantee you, any savings we receive, we're going to pass on to you. And pretty much as our rods and our cams and everything else, we're going to have the best pricing on the market. All right, moving forward here, guys. Like I said, what you're seeing thus far is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. We have so many products in development. The only thing holding us back is cash. And what your support does, guys, it pushes the Jseries community along. It helps us out, and I greatly appreciate your support, guys. It hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of haters, but like they say, man, when you have haters, you're doing something right. So anyways, what you're looking at here is Jseries stock fuel rails. These are stock fuel rails, and I've done the calculations and I've done the flow rate, guys, and stock fuel rails and stock lines are good to about 700, 750, maybe 800 horsepower if you're running gasoline. But what this is our stock fuel rail Jseries to -10 or AN fitting. So let me say that again. This is our stock fuel rail adapter kit. So stock fuel rail to -6 AN fittings. So what this allows you to do, this is our E85 friendly fuel line adapter AN kit. So this allows you to run braided AN hose from the fuel tank, from the fuel pump, all the way up to the AN fitting and adapt it and attach it directly to the stock fuel lines, or stock fuel rails. Because like I said, guys, stock fuel rails are easily good to 750 horsepower. All right, and our kit is going to be a complete kit. It's basically going to be a plug and play. You're going to take your stock fuel lines off. You're going to attach our adapter, AN adapter, to the stock fuel lines. You're going to take your -6 line. Everything's going to be pre-assembled, so we're already going to have the AN fittings on for you. You don't have to do any assembly besides hook it up. And then from there, guys, you just take your line that's already attached to your fuel pump, run it up, and hook it up, and now you have AN line directly attached to your fuel rails. So this is awesome. Like I said, we're going to be using the Teflon nylon AN line, so the braided AN line. So will it not only flow more, it will also withstand higher pressures and also be E85 friendly, so you don't have to worry about your fuel lines deteriorating. And it's going to be super easy to take off and modify. So if you guys ever reach that 800 plus horsepower limit, you can easily remove our fitting, remove the line, install your new fuel rails, hook everything back up, and be good to go. So with our Jseries stock fuel rail to -6 AN fitting adapter kit, give us about another 2 weeks and we should be done with that. We just ordered all the fittings and all the lines and everything we need to make the kit, and so within the next 2 weeks we'll be assembling everything and we will have it listed on our online store. Once again, guys, if you're not already, please check out our Instagram account, because stuff like this we update in real time on our Instagram account, so you can stay updated on any new products we have, because we always post them on our Instagram first before posting a video. All right, this is a super exciting update, guys. As I promised, and I always stick to my word, if I say something, I'm gonna do it, guys. And I've been promising you guys a boosted kit for a while, and I told you that 2020 is going to be the year of HalferLand Performance boosted kits. And if you don't know yet, what we decided to go with is a Supercharger Kit. Why? Because 1, simplicity; 2, reliability; 3, cost; 4, ease of installation. So not only are they reliable, they're very low maintenance. Basically, you don't have to do anything to them except change the supercharger oil once in a blue moon, which is very rare. All right guys, I can't show you too much of this because, as you guys may know, a lot of the time we're being accused of copying shit, stealing information, which we don't fucking do at all. We'll pick brains of people and we'll take any bits of information as a good person or a good builder or manufacturer or company does. We're not stupid, guys. If there's some good information, yeah, we're gonna retain it, but we don't sit there and accuse people of copying or stealing. But there's been cases of us being accused, and I just find it ironic that there's been at least 3 instances where we release a product a month or so later, another company releases it, and then we're accused of copying them, even though we released the product before, we announced it before. So that's all I'm saying at this point. Not pointing anyone in particular out, guys, no company, but I did want to show you this, so let's show you. So as I said, guys, we are coming out with a supercharger kit. It's going to be a centrifugal supercharger kit. It's going to retain AC. You will keep your fucking AC, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard for a daily driver supercharger kit, that you have to delete your AC on a daily driver. And then they say, oh god. All right, so the company's owner said to some people online that stressed, hey, I don't like the fact that the AC gets deleted. Is there something you're going to do in the future? And you know what they told him the solution was? Move to a colder climate state. Like, fucking really, dude? Anyways, that's enough on this. So with that in mind, guys, I obviously I'm very well versed in these applications and the engine bay, the layout, and I looked, and within a matter of 10 minutes I could see there was a way to install the kit, not have a massive jack shaft running all the way across the engine bay just to drive the supercharger. Within 10 minutes I saw that, and I understand where some of the other kits are coming from, because they took the easiest route, which was unfortunately deleting the AC, and that's not what we're going to do. So once again, ours is going to keep the AC. We're not going to have a jack shaft running all the way across the engine bay. Because one, if you guys don't know, the big loss to superchargers, or one of the main cons, is parasitic loss. When you add a 20-30 pound jack shaft or a drive shaft all the way across, guess what you're doing? You're adding more to that parasitic loss, which is why some of these Comtech superchargers on 8 pounds are making like 300 something horsepower. Bro, on like 8 pounds, my daily on a turbo is making damn near 600 wheel horsepower. So that just goes and proves and shows you what parasitic loss can do. So with that in mind, guys, I have all these key elements that I want to avoid, or I want to try to tackle with our supercharger kit, and that consists of keeping the supercharger over here. Just going to show you this real quick. Power steering is just sitting here, but it's going to be relocated, and this is the shot, guys. That's it. That's all I'm going to show you for now. So another key feature to our supercharger kit are that we are going to retain the cog wheels. So the belt is going to have teeth. What that does, that eliminates any type of slipping, being that our Jseries, some people rev them out to fucking 8,000 RPM plus. Obviously that's not something I suggest, and with the parts that we offer, we suggest taking the car up to 7,600, 77, 78 at the max. 8,000 RPMs, these motors simply don't make that power, especially with the piston speeds that the J35 are seeing. And then along with that, you would need a massive cam, guys, and there's nobody on the market that offers a off-the-shelf cam that will allow for a power band up to 8,000 or beyond. Our stage 2 cam, our power band is up to 75, 7600. Beyond that, you'll start to see it start dropping off. And we did that specifically because we feel that's the best power band for these motors, especially daily driven or even drag or track oriented. You're not revving the motor, you're not stressing it to the moon for absolutely no reason, because after 75, 7600, the piston speed becomes too high and that power starts falling off a cliff. So what we did, we developed our cam. 3 years we developed our cam to meet that power band. So the power band for our stage 2 cam is 3,000 to 7,500, and what that 7,500 point also allowed us to do is retain stock keepers, stock seats, and stock valve train retainers, so you don't have to upgrade to titanium. And once again, guys, there's a specific company that's been dogging us and taking little cheap shots at us in their verbiage. If you go to their website and you look at their online store and then you go between ours, you'll see they're taking clear fucking shots at us for no reason. I've never spoke to the guy, don't even know him, and he's just clearly taking shots any chance that he gets. And the same thing goes with Facebook. Anything he says in his product description is basically him trying to diminish our product. And you know what that says? He's fucking scared. That means he's intimidated by our parts. If he wasn't, he would shut his mouth and just do his work, but he's not. Every chance that he gets, he takes a clear shot at our product, which is funny as hell, and it's actually a little flattering. So I take that as we're doing a good job, and that he feels that he has to try to diminish our product so he can boost his sales. But anyways, like I was saying, guys, that 7,500 range, that allows us to lower the cost and maintain stock keepers and retainers for the valve springs. So on our J35, it was we were running our 10,000 RPM valve springs. And guys, again, I want to stress, 10,000 RPM valve spring rating is not us saying rev to the moon, which once again, that owner of that company, that guy, is basically telling people that we're saying. If you read the product description from day one, we say we're not suggesting rev to 10,000 RPM. That 10,000 RPM valve rating is the rating for valve float. So that shows you when the valve will start floating, and then secondly, it also shows you the stiffness. It kind of points you towards how stiff those springs are, because the stiffer the spring, the more control they have at higher RPM. So once again, guys, not telling you guys to rev to the fucking moon, but anyways, that 7,500 RPM limit also allows you to keep the stock retainers and seats, and that lowers the cost. And guys, we've been running it on our daily driver since we had stage 2 cams. So literally for about 20,000 miles, we ran them on our J30, we ran them on our J32, we ran them on our J35. The same fucking heads, the same heads are on my J35 A7 now, boosted at 8 pounds, making easily 550, 600 wheel horsepower. And that's going to be the last note I want to get on you guys with. But kind of circling back here, the reason why we're sticking with the cogged pulleys is because belt slippage. The higher in RPM you get, the more friction and the more tension that goes on the belt, and it'll end up starting to slip. That's why you see a lot of guys do some type of like non-slip treatment onto their pulleys, such as like the new Jeep Trackhawks or any of the Hellcats and stuff like that. They get a lot of belt slippage, so they put like a textured like, not film, but an application on it, and which basically kind of makes it like sandpaper and hold the belt. So with the cog system, we don't have to worry about that at all, guys. There's little teeth. It's basically like, so there's little teeth, as you can see here, and what that does, it keeps the belt locked in, and you can rev that thing to 8,000 if you wanted. But the whole reason I went on that tangent about RPM and rev limit is because I was getting to the point that our cogged wheels, our cogged pulleys, you don't have to worry about belt slippage at all. And at the moment, we are looking at a kit that will be good for 300 to about 550 wheel horsepower, which is perfect, guys. That is the perfect power range for a stock J-Series motor. You can go 500 wheel horsepower easily for 80 to 100,000 miles on a stock motor. Once you get, actually 500, once you get to 550, I would start considering pulling the pistons and re-gapping the rings. As we said in our video before, check it out, #1 issue with turboing or boosting a stock J-Series motor. Alright, guys, and the last thing I'm going to leave the video off with is some very exciting news, which I know nearly everybody, including the haters, have been waiting for. And the announcement is, guys, next Tuesday we are going to dyno the J35 A7 turbo setup. Finally, the car is going to be turboed, and we're going to shut up the haters once and for all, and we're going to show you guys exactly what the car is making. Right now she is on wastegate pressure, which is right around 7.5 pounds. From what I can calculate, guys, that should be around the 550 wheel horsepower mark. And if we need to, I will go ahead and I will turn this little boy right here, which is just a manual ball and spring boost controller, and I'll turn her up to 8, 9, 10 pounds. And I know a lot of people have said it can't be done. There's no way you're making nearly 600 wheel horsepower on less than 10 psi, and I'm letting you guys know we have been, and we'll prove that once and for all on Tuesday. All right, so that's super exciting, guys. So next Tuesday, stay tuned, guys. It will probably be, the video will probably be released next weekend, or maybe during the week if I can get time to render it and do all the editing. But I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. And if you're curious about what the entire build consists of, or the entire car in general, who is Bertha? That's her name. Her name's Bertha. She's the turbo 7th gen Accord HalferLand Performance shop car daily driver. So if you guys are curious about what is in our car and what we've done to it, please check out our latest video. So not this video, the last one before it. I did a complete video on every single mod, just about every single mod. I think I missed a couple things, but I did a complete breakdown on Bertha's full mod list, from suspension to exhaust to interior to obviously engine. All right, so if you guys are interested in that, please check out our last video. It's a little long, a little lengthy, because she got a lot of shit done, but it will give you a full rundown. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming to the channel, supporting us. If you are interested in following us in real time, that would be on Instagram, which we're going to put below. It's just HalferLand Performance, the same thing as our company name. If you're interested in any of our performance parts, check out our main website, which is, once again, I'll put down here. It's HondaJSeriesEngine.com, and you can also see our fuel system adapter, our pistons, all that will be listed on the store once they're available and once they're out. And so once again, guys, thank you so much for your support. It's really humbling, and without you guys, none of this would be possible. So thank you guys again.